Hello, Aries, guys and gals. It's time for hot and spicy week. I just made that up like a little while ago. So why not, right? I wanted to do something kind of a little lighter and more fun because we've been doing like the heavy, you know, your blind spot, release and receive. So like, let's do. What was I first gonna call it when I started Aquarius? Because they were the first sign that I did with this. Sweet and sexy, or I can't even remember now. But we went with hot and spicy. So it became hot and spicy by the end of the reading. So everyone's getting a hot and spicy. So I'm using, ooh, the devil. Way to be hot and spicy, Aries. As I show you the deck I'm using, you have the devil at the bottom. This is the Starman Tarot, inspired by David Bowie. And then we have the Hermit. The Hermit. This is the Tarot de la Nuit. It's very sexy. And we're going to see what comes out for you. What kind of message is about hot and spicy? Hot and spicy for Aries. Hot and spicy for Aries. If anybody was hot and spicy, it would definitely be Aries. Well, Aries tries to be hot and spicy. I don't know about you guys. I don't know how successful it ends up. Oh! Oh, wow. What are you guys up to? I want one. Well, let's see if one more comes out. Everyone else has had 4. I don't even know if you need more. My gosh. Aries, simmer down. 3 of Wands. All right, I'm going to tarot my Tarot de la Nuit to see what comes out because you have one of the sexiest cards in the deck out so far. Yeah, it is. It's probably the sexiest card in any deck. Yeah. There's been a song going through my head, and it just came out when I looked at that card. It's an old song. And I can't remember, it was one morning I woke up and boom. Or I was just about to go to sleep and boom, it was weird. It was, I had to look it up. I'm like, who sings that? By the Archies, Sugar Sugar or something like that. Honey, honey, do. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. This is a song that came into my head when I saw the this one card, which is funny. Oh, but geez, like there's some anguish here. Oh my gosh. There's always hot and spicy, and then something like puts out the spice. So you have the Princess of Wands. There you are, and all your magnificence, Aries. Very fiery. It's a little bit like the Knight of Wands, but this is a feminine energy version of that. There's a prince and a princess in this deck. The Princess of Wands is a little less it's a little less player energy than what the Prince of Wands can be. There is the potential with this energy to harness possibilities. Now, how you bring in, so like sort of like claim a manifestation, but there's a caution with both the Prince and Princess of Wands, because how you try to manifest something, if not done correctly, could break your golden egg. See, she's got that golden egg up there. So this bone, or whatever you want to call it, it's actually the same shape that's in the Ace of Wands, which is very phallic and very fiery. It's very passionate. Now, so that passion and drive and desire, be careful, because you can use that energy to claim your manifestation, but if you claim it too quickly, too fast, it could crack and break. Now here's your Sugar Sugar card. The Lovers. Is that not the sexiest Lovers card in any deck? Oh my gosh. Look at, they're making honey. They're making honey with their passion, and they're pulling in little bumblebees. You know what they say? You get more bees with honey than you do shit. So it's true. It's a very sexy little card. So there's something here. You're definitely pulling in the hot and spicy, Aries. You're sticking with the theme. And then you have the Starman. This is almost like a DNA change. It's like yeah, utilizing this energy of the Princess of Wands. And if you do it right, you really ascend to a whole new level here. But you got to do it right. Don't crack that egg before it's ready to hatch. Really don't crack that egg before it's ready to hatch. And what does that mean? Because I know I'm going to get comments. I don't understand what you're saying. So, the golden egg, so in the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck, there's a golden egg. There's a bunch of different eggs. There's a black egg, that's like an inner truth. There's a cosmic egg, which to me is something that you are energetically creating. You're manifesting. You're in the process of manifestation. Is still sort of in an energetic form, and it's being protected by the universe because it's just for you. Something that you're manifesting just for you, but it's not down in three-dimensional yet. The golden egg to me is the three-dimensional because it's depicted in a nest. So it's here now. It exists. It's bringing that to you. Perhaps it is a lover. It's sitting right there between that and the Starman. There's some sort of because with the Starman, I really get this almost this change in DNA structure, opening up to things that you weren't in the past. Like things that you're going through right now are sort of triggering DNA activation. Like perhaps you weren't intuitive in the past, but now you're utilizing that and you've turned it on. You've turned on that ability. Perhaps you were too impulsive in the past and now you've turned that down. I think it's kind of neat though that there's masculine and feminine energy. There's the feminine energy, the Princess of Wands, and then there's David Bowie, who was a man, masculine energy. And then in the middle, the masculine and the feminine come together. And whether you're heterosexual or not, it doesn't matter because everybody has feminine and masculine energy. It's whatever you're identifying as, really. These coming together. Now, interesting. The Page of Wands is the card that's sitting under the Princess of Wands. Communicating your desire. Perhaps communicate your desire here. But I feel that you're kind of sensing you're inexperienced in this with the Page. You're almost still in the cocoon ready to hatch into the Starman. And the Hanged Man is sitting underneath the Lovers. So it's not happening. Why is it not happening? Not able to move. But yet holding that flower out, right? Holding that flower out to try to attract the bees. But I think you need that other person to make the honey. That's what it looked like. That's kind of what it looked like, no? They're making the honey. And then the Starman, look at that. That's the end to what has not served you. The Ten of Wands is sitting underneath the Starman. That's where the completion comes in. That's where the full activation comes in to who you're going to be here. This is also a reading about you combining your masculine and feminine energies to create, to become something very different. Very different. Yeah, I almost want to say this is like a reading about you yourself. The Three of Wands is the underline in the Starman deck. There's an awful lot of possibilities out there looking for the right one, huh? Looking for the right one. There's an awful lot out there to see, to call in. The Knight of Swords is on the bottom of the other deck. I think this is an interesting Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is usually like the fastest knight in the deck charging forward. Could be recklessly, but it's just getting it in there and getting that message across, conveying that information or truth. This Knight of Swords, because he is bowed down, or he's kneeled down, you know, he's humble. His energy is not moving forward. He has this beautiful white wolf beside him, which reminds me of sort of like a spirit guide. So he's allowing, he, she is allowing spirit to guide them to either expressing or claiming this truth. So with those two underlines, it does seem like there's an awful lot of possibilities, but there's really one thing that you truly do want, and getting into this humble state to allow the universe to bring you to it, or to bring it to you. The Princess of Wands, let's clarify some of this. The Princess of Wands. The Three of Pentacles. This is a very creative component of yourself. It's really expanding. Yeah, wow, is it ever? Shit. It's the Empress and the Sun. The Three of Pentacles, the Empress and the Sun. You are really, I'm telling you, if you can balance this masculine and feminine aspects of yourself here, you really create the sun. You become the Empress energy. And to do that is to recognize when it is time to charge forward, when it is time to defend, when it is time to be that go-getter. When it is time to, you know, be protective, be nurturing, be loving, and be able to utilize all of that. Like, not feel like it emasculates you to be emotional, or it emasculates you to share your feelings, and not feeling like it takes away your femininity to be strong and independent and go after what you want, right? Like, that's having that balance. The Starman, like, well, what the heck? I can't get over this Temperance card. Has come out in every reading so far. I mean, you're only the third, but wait, what order was this? It was like that. Interesting. The Two of Wands, the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, and Temperance. Ooh, cool message. So, looking out, wanting to grow and expand here, being at a crossroads and knowing it's time to move out, it's time to go beyond. The world is my oyster, let me go find it, right? Now, the Nine of Cups, your wish is my command, says the universe. And why does it say that? Because you are in emotional harmony, emotional happiness. And you can do that independently, independent of anything else. You're just happy, you know. You have what you want, you're good with who you are, and the Nine of Pentacles is that same level of independence, but you're creating it on a three-dimensional level. So you're creating it in your world, with your home or your work and your finances. This is really good energy. If you can combine these two to create, I want to say this Temperance. Come on. This Temperance energy, which is Sagittarius energy. So actually, we do too with the Sun. You also have Leo energy coming in here. The Lovers is Gemini. The Starman, it is number 1 in the tarot, so you could say it's like the Magician, Gemini again. But this Temperance, you know, combining this by wanting to go out and explore, by wanting to push your own boundaries and find out what's beyond there, you have transformed or will transform yourself into this Starman energy that is balanced emotionally and physically. And that creates this Temperance energy where not only are you being kind of divinely guided, but you are divine guidance in a sense. You become this energy. And I think you've been divinely guided up to this point also. But there is a Ten of Wands sitting there with that. So what needs to be released? the Six of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the Justice card. Because you're moving into this Empress energy. She's the embodiment of all the queens. If a queen is coming up here as something that you need to release, I want to say that you're too heavy in that energy to be this Empress or Emperor energy, however you want to see it. Like, the Empress is the embodiment of all the queens in the tarot. The Emperor is the embodiment of all the kings. So whether you're a man or a woman, however you identify yourself as masculine or feminine, you still need this balance. So if we're talking about, you know, we are getting the depiction of feminine energy here with the Empress and now the Queen of Swords. So this is a part of the feminine energy within you that is coming into balance to complete this process, perhaps. So the Six of Pentacles with the Seven of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the Justice card. It kind of says to me releasing something that in the past may have brought or created some sort of balance, but it became an energy that you would become defensive about. Feeling like you have to battle it all the time or fight with it, and you cut it out and brought justice to yourself. You cut it out with the Queen of Swords. But there's also this justice that perhaps the Queen of Swords energy can be released a bit here, because it is something to release. It is to release what was balanced in the past. It is to release what made you feel defensive in the past. It is to release the energy of feeling to need to cut out or be quite straightforward, forthcoming with your words. And it is to release this need for justice, this balance, because you are becoming balance, really. With Temperance, you are becoming balance. Okay, let's clarify the Lovers. Well, that's an awful lot of cards to clarify the Lovers. Oh my gosh. Wow, wow. You could be dealing with an air sign. So we have the King of Swords. So now the King and Queen of Swords have come out in the same reading in the same deck. We have the Emperor, and we've got the Emperor and the Empress in the same reading in the same deck. Three of Cups, the Hermit, and the Death card. So Virgo, or Aries, there you are. Virgo and Scorpio energy. The Lovers, two very strong energies. If this is the King of Swords and the Emperor, so I want to say that you're the Emperor. Perhaps your person, the King of Swords here, is this Empress coming in. You're manifesting like this golden hour. Oh yeah, the golden egg with you. Remember that. So be careful. So some of your eggs might be ready to hatch. Don't break it too early. Because this is the sun. This is wish fulfillment. This is happiness. This is joy. This is collaborative working together on something. Yeah, and the Three of Cups. You know, it kind of seems like working on your feminine energies to become, in a way, a stronger masculine presence in your life or their lives. A stronger leader in your own life. More competent in defending what it is that you want for yourself, or what you feel is important, and leading your community too, because the Emperor is that energy also. But the Three of Cups and the Hermit into the Death card. So this Lovers, there was, it seems like in the past, there was happiness and celebration between these two, and then there was isolation with the Hermit. Going within, going deep within. Yeah, because the Hanged Man is sitting under that too. There's no movement. The Death card, what comes in after the Death card? Because that's transformation. That is a transformation that is happening. So the isolation shall be transformed, and that will transform into the leap of faith. There you are, Aries. Your leap of faith energy. So movement, a new start, starting at 0 in the deck, right? It's at the bottom. The Four of Swords is at the bottom because this is a time of rest and recovery. But while you're doing that, it seems like you're doing some inside work here. Some really good inside work. Like, these are really good energies. If you're going to bring your energy together with someone else, this is probably the best way to do it. I mean, nobody else is responsible for your happiness, and nobody else is responsible for your independence and your security. Like, yeah, really good energy. There you go. That's your hot and spicy, Aries. That was pretty hot and spicy with that Lover's card. So guys, thank you so much. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.